You are invited to participate in a true multimedia experience coming to a home near you. LCM TV is bringing Lake County into the new millennium with news, live broadcast, information, music, talk shows, and local programming, all streaming in high definition online and soon to be on your Roku box. Join us at lcm-tv.com or be a part of our studio audience. You can also watch the shows at lakecomagazine.com as we provide programming to inform, enlighten, and maybe even enrage you. On Lake County Magazine Talk Show with Terry and Pete the Tax Guy, Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Like racing? Try the Checkered Flag Show, hosted by Ace Naylor on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. All ages and divisions in regional and national fields. Joni Lane brings a positive light to you every Monday at 3 p.m. Pasha Space brings an international flair as they discuss ecological, health, and social issues in Haiti with people around the world. End up your week with positive, conscious sounds on Saturday at 9 a.m. with Sister T on the Bridge. This show is also simulcast on KMEC 105.1 FM in Ukiah. Our latest show, LCM TV News, is brought to you live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon, and rebroadcast at 6:30 p.m. and noon daily, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday, featuring national, regional, and local news, weather, and sports. We have it all here for you on your local TV station, LCM TV. Join us online and soon on Roku, giving you access to all the best Lake County has to offer. We are LCMTV.com, your multimedia connection. Tune in for the fun. It's live TV at its best.
Good morning. This is LCM TV News at noon. I'm Pete Schiffman, and thank you for joining us this morning. On the national front, at least 6 people are dead and over 140 were injured on Tuesday night when an Amtrak train derailed in Philadelphia. A Northeast regional train left Washington, D.C. earlier Tuesday. An Associated Press employee, Paul Chung, was on the train and said it appeared to go off the tracks. The train was headed from Washington to New York when it derailed around 9:45 p.m., according to passengers, including former Representative Patrick Murphy. Officials from the Philadelphia Fire Department said more than 50 people were injured. That toll was growing as firefighters and rescue workers carrying flashlights and ladders went from car to car, helping passengers off the train. Many of the train cars appear to have flipped over in the crash. Over 200 police department officers are on hand at the scene of the train derailment, assisting the Philadelphia Fire Department and other first responders in rescue efforts. Amtrak has set up a passenger info hotline. It can be reached at 1-800-523-9101. Nepal, still reeling from a devastating quake that killed more than 8,000 nearly 3 weeks ago, was hit by another quake on Tuesday. At the same time, the U.S. Marine Corps' helicopter carrying 6 Marines and 2 Nepalese soldiers were reported missing while delivering disaster aid to northeastern Nepal. Tuesday's magnitude 7.3 quake, centered between Kathmandu and Mount Everest, struck hardest in the foothills of the Himalayas and triggered landslides that blocked roads to remote villages in several districts. Most of the 65 people confirmed dead by this morning were in the Dholaka district, located northeast of Kathmandu. Tuesday's quake also left nearly 2,000 injured, according to the Home Ministry's latest count. But that toll was expected to rise as reports trickled in of people in isolated Himalayan towns and villages being buried under rubble, according to the UN's Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. A 6.8 earthquake has struck off the eastern coast of Japan's Honshu Island, shaking the same area devastated by a quake and tsunami 4 years ago, USGS and Japan Meteorological Agency report. No casualties or damage have yet been reported. The quake struck at 6:13 a.m. local time at a depth of almost 50 kilometers. While USGS originally reported the quake at 6.9 magnitude, JMA measured it at 6.6. No tsunami warning was issued by JMA, and according to the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, based on all available data, a destructive Pacific-wide tsunami is not expected. President Obama suffered a defeat at the hands of his own party on Tuesday, as Senate Democrats blocked a key component of the president's trade agenda. After fierce lobbying on both sides of the issue on expanding the president's authority to negotiate trade deals, it failed on a 52-45 vote. It needed 60 votes to advance. The president's supporters will likely try again, but the vote nevertheless marks a stinging rebuke of a major Obama priority by members of his own party. Republicans mostly had aligned with Obama on the issue, and after the failed test vote, urged Obama's fellow Democrats to drop their resistance. The vote marks a stinging rebuke of a major Obama priority by members of his own party. At issue is Obama's push for so-called fast-track authority, which would let him negotiate trade deals that Congress can reject or ratify, but not amend. The Obama administration gave conditional approval Monday to allow Shell to start drilling for oil off the Alaskan coast this summer, a major victory for the petroleum industry and a devastating blow to environmentalists. The decision adds a complex new chapter to the legacy of President Obama, who has pursued the most ambitious environmental agenda of any president, but has sought to balance those moves by opening up untouched federal waters to new oil and gas drilling. The Interior Department decision angered environmentalists who, for years, have demanded that the administration reject offshore Arctic drilling proposals. They fear that a drilling accident in the treacherous Arctic Ocean waters could have far more devastating consequences than the deadly Gulf of Mexico spill of 2010, when the Deepwater Horizon rig explosion killed 11 men and sent millions of barrels of oil spewing into the water. Both industry and environmental groups say that the Chukchi Sea is one of the most dangerous places in the world to drill. A former CIA officer was sentenced Monday to 3.5 years in prison on espionage charges from telling a journalist from the New York Times about a secret operation to disrupt Iran's nuclear program. The sentence was far less than the Justice Department had wanted. The former officer, Jeffrey Sterling, argued that the Espionage Act, which was passed during World War I, was intended to prosecute spies, not officials who talked to journalists. He asked for the kind of leniency that prosecutors showed to David Petraeus, the retired general who last month received probation for providing his highly classified journals to his biographer. The Justice Department said that Mr. Sterling's disclosures compromised an important CIA operation and jeopardized the life of a spy. Under federal sentencing guidelines, he faced more than 20 years in prison, a calculation with which the Justice Department agreed, seeking a more severe sentence. Under federal rules, Mr. Sterling will be eligible for release from prison in just under 3 years. America has spoken loud and clear. They want Harriet Tubman to be the face of our $20 bill. Right now, our currency is very male and very white. A grassroots campaign called Women on 20s hopes to change that and start an online petition to replace Andrew Jackson on the 20. Women on 20s held 2 rounds of voting. After the first round, there were 4 finalists: Tubman, Wilma Mankiller, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Rosa Parks. All extraordinary women, not just in their time but in history. In the end, Harriet Tubman won with 1,328 votes. Second place was Roosevelt with 111,227 votes. Coming up next is the regional news. We'll be right back.
SSS Multimedia is sending you smoke signals, providing their clients with the ultimate communication and multimedia marketing, distribution, production, and web-based services. They feature high-def video equipment and quality audio sound. SSS is your multimedia source, from graphics for business cards to television production, radio, live sound, and everything in between. SSS is sending you smoke signals. Get your message out with SSS Multimedia. For more information, call 707-701-6416 or email info@sssmultimedia.com.
Welcome back, folks. And in regional news, a private water bottling company will soon be sucking up thousands of gallons a day from an aquifer that feeds the Sacramento River, the primary source of drinking water for millions of Californians coping with a 4-year drought. The plan by Crystal Geyser Water Company to sink a tap into Big Springs, which is sourced out of the base of Mount Shasta, is allowed because the State Water Resource Control Board considers it groundwater. And California regulations monitoring groundwater are years from the implementation. The Calistoga Company, which bottles sparkling mineral water and juice, is not required to do an environmental impact report or obtain a permit from the state to bottle and sell a resource that is in such short supply that California farmers are letting crops go and water districts are developing plans to subject their customers to rationing. The move has infuriated environmentalists, American Indian tribes, and many of the 3,394 residents of the city of Mount Shasta, who can hardly believe a company is being allowed to bottle the same water that the rest of the state is under orders to conserve. They fear the bottling operation, one of 108 in California, could drain wells dry and deplete the aquifer, which fills Siskiyou County rivers and streams and feeds the headwaters of Sacramento. Police in Salinas are asking for the public's help in locating a pregnant woman and her young child who went missing Monday, according to officials. Family members of Monique Jimenez, 28, said they last spoke with her around 3 p.m. Monday afternoon, but that she hasn't been seen or heard from since. She is 6 months pregnant and was with her infant daughter, Lexi Cardenas, before she disappeared, police said. Jimenez is described as 5 foot 2 inches tall, weighing 150 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. She has a tattoo of the word Jimenez on her right foot. Excuse me, Jimenez. You're welcome. Lexi Cardenas is described as 9 months old with blonde hair and blue eyes. Police urged anyone who has seen Jimenez or her daughter or has information as to their whereabouts to call 831-758-7321. Two affiliates of a giant petroleum company that operates nearly 150 gas stations in the Bay Area will pay $11.5 million to the state for numerous violations of the hazardous waste laws, the California Attorney General announced on Thursday. Phillips 66 and ConocoPhillips agreed to pay the fine as part of a settlement of the violations, according to the final judgment filed Thursday in Alameda County Superior Court. The companies were accused of allowing 560 of their service stations in 34 counties to improperly operate and maintain underground gasoline storage tanks, endangering nearby water supplies. The violators included 150 stations in the Bay Area, including 16 in San Francisco, according to authorities. The ConocoPhillips refinery in Rodeo was also named in a U.S. Environmental Protection Agency report as the biggest releaser of toxic chemicals in the Bay Area as of 2011. The Rodeo Conoco, now Phillips 66 refinery, was the 8th largest distributor of dangerous substances in the state at that time, again according to the EPA, which tracks the transport and release of chemicals, including copper, petroleum, nitrates, lead, asbestos, and ammonia. Coming up next is local news, sports, and weather. We'll be right back.
The taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home, blazing on a sunny afternoon. And I can't sail my yacht, he's taken everything I got. All I've got's this sunny afternoon.
Manticorp Tax and Accounting can help you minimize taxation, establish a corporate presence, and save you money. Our over 25 years of experience in domestic and international taxation and incorporation services makes us the best at what we do. Your first consultation at Manticorp is always free, and our discounted rates guarantee you will not end up paying for what you don't get. Try Manticorp today. For more information, call 707-701-6416 or email info@manticorpusa.com.
In the summertime.
Welcome back. In local news, after a 3-month trial period, the Board of Supervisors unanimously approved an ordinance to continue the schedule that reduced the number of meetings held each month. In January, the board decided to cancel meetings held on the second Tuesday of February, March, and April to allow county staff to use their time more effectively. A second reading of the ordinance will be held during the May 19th meeting. The discussion spurred from many meetings lacking agenda items, which resulted in multiple canceled meetings last year. As the ordinance will not go into effect until June 18th, the board also unanimously approved canceling today's meeting, meaning yesterday, as well as its June 9th meeting. The board will continue to meet on the first, third, and fourth Tuesday of each month. However, the board can meet at any other times as determined. There has been opposition to the cutback. Some critics of the plan voiced concerns that the board's ability to address problems plaguing the county, poor road conditions, lake issues, drought enforcement abatements, would be slowed. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to be cutting back on the amount of work you do when there are so many problems in the county that we don't seem to be making a lot of headway on, Phil Murphy, a Lakeport resident said. District 4 Supervisor Anthony Farrington stated, "You're under the belief and perception that there is less work because there are less meetings. The reality is that the same items come before us one way or the other, whether it is one meeting a month or if it's 20 meetings a month. There is a move to require board members to account for their time in order to receive their pay and benefits. However, no group has placed such a plan on the board's agenda." A motion to dismiss multiple claims in a case involving District 5 Supervisor Rob Brown was heard Tuesday during a case management conference. The case regards an alleged altercation that occurred between Brown and plaintiffs Robert and Jan Sanders in 2012, when Brown went to serve civil paperwork at their house on Buckeye Street in Clear Lake. Of the original 14 claims, all but 2 have been dismissed with a sustained demurrer without leave to amend, meaning they cannot be changed in order to remain a part of the case, according to Stephen Brown, Rob Brown's attorney. With the motion to dismiss filed, the claims will be removed and the case can move forward with the remaining claims of battery and assault. The case management conference would then focus on the status of the case to determine if it is ready to go to trial. The Sanders are securing new out-of-county representation from a Santa Rosa law firm and will seek to move the venue out of the county due to discriminatory prejudice. And for the weather, today will be cool and cloudy early with partial sunshine expected later. We have a slight chance of rain shower throughout the day. The high will be around 66. Winds from the southwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. In the evening, there will be partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of a rain shower. The low will be around 45 with winds coming out of the south-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Thursday, we have an 80% chance of rain. It'll be cooler and cloudy in the morning, then thunderstorms developing later in the day. Yay, we need rain. Sorry, folks. The high will be near 60. Winds will maintain their south-southwesterly direction at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight, it'll be mostly cloudy, low around 45 degrees. Winds will stable from the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Friday, there will be a 10% chance of rain with intervals of clouds and sunshine. High will be 68. Winds from the west-southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. In sports, the New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady, a golden boy of American sports and perhaps pro football's biggest star, was suspended Monday for 4 regular season games without pay by the NFL, which said he had deliberately and secretly violated league rules. The NFL also fined the Patriots $1 million and took away 2 prized future draft picks, including a first-round choice in 2016, saying that the team and Brady schemed to improperly deflate footballs in the AFC Championship game last season on the way to securing New England's 4th Super Bowl victory. In a statement, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said he supported the punishment issued by the league's Executive Vice President for Football Operations, Troy Vincent, for what the league called conduct detrimental to the integrity of the NFL. Junior Giants is still accepting applications for coaches to help with a fun-filled 8-week-long program sponsored by the Lake County Sheriff's Activity League. Junior Giants teaches the fundamentals of baseball in a non-competitive league while offering a variety of incentives and activities that help participants build character and leadership skills. Players age 5 and older will enjoy twice-weekly practices and accompanying activities. Parent participation and support is valued. The league is free to all participants. Celebrating its 16th year in Lake County, Junior Giants needs adult coaches who want to have fun with the players while teaching them about baseball and good citizenship. The Giants Foundation provides training and guidelines, as well as the necessary equipment for running the program. Background checks for coaches and helpers are provided free of charge by the Giants Foundation. For more information about coaching, call 707-349-2484. Former Clear Lake High School varsity girls basketball coach Ron Jackson died Sunday from an apparent heart attack at his home in Kansas City, Kansas. This is according to family members. Jackson, 61, a Kelseyville High School graduate, coached Clear Lake for 3 seasons between 1986 and 1989, including a most memorable 88-89 campaign when the Cardinals made it as far as the Northern California Division V championships. Jackson went 67-15 in his 3 seasons at Clear Lake and took the Cardinals to the playoffs each year. Jackson also coached briefly at Upper Lake High School. Funeral arrangements have not been announced. On Monday, the Golden State Warriors evened their playoff series with Memphis by beating the Grizzlies 101-84, led by Stephen Curry with 33 points. The series is now 2-2 heading into the game this evening, being played on the Warriors' home court. The Giants beat the Houston Astros by a score of 8-1 with Chris Heston's first career complete game. Heston threw a 2-hitter as he struck out 10 as the San Francisco Giants won for the 3rd time in 4 games. Matt Duffy had 3 hits and drove in 5 runs for the Giants. It was the most RBIs by a Giants rookie since Buster Posey had 6 July 7, 2010 at Milwaukee. The Giants are now in 2nd place in the Western Division, 5.5 games behind the division-leading Dodgers. Last night, the Oakland A's broke their 6-game losing streak by beating the Boston Red Sox by a score of 9-2. Josh Reddick had 4 hits with a homer and 3 RBIs. Drew Pomeranz took advantage of Sterling defense to match the longest start of his career. Pomeranz, who is now 2-3 on the season, faced the minimum 15 batters through 5 innings and was efficient all night. He allowed 2 runs and 4 hits in 7 innings to win for the first time since his opening start of the season. Lawrence Peter Berra, known to all as Yogi, turns 90 this last Monday. The Hall of Fame catcher played 19 seasons, all but one with the New York Yankees. He played in 4 games for the Mets in 1965. He is widely regarded as one of the best catchers in baseball history. He was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1972. Berra was an All-Star for 15 seasons. He is one of only 4 players to be named the most valuable player of the American League 3 times and is one of 7 managers to lead both American and National League teams to the World Series. As a player, coach, or manager, Berra appeared in 21 World Series, including 13 World Series championships. He was named to the Major League Baseball All-Century team in a voting of fans in 1999. Berra, who quit school after the 8th grade, was also known for his pithy and paradoxical quotes, such as, "It ain't over till it's over," while speaking to reporters. Simultaneously denying and confirming his reputation, Berra once stated, "I really didn't say anything I said." For those who remember his playing days and continue following him afterward, you all know he's one of the best ambassadors of the game of baseball. And for our last word today, search crews looking for a Malaysia Airlines jet believed to have crashed in the southern Indian Ocean have found the remnants of a shipwreck, including an anchor and possibly a ship's bell. resting on the seabed almost 2.5 miles down. It is not what searchers were hoping to find. Paul Kennedy, search director for Fugro Survey, a division of a Dutch company hired by the Australian government to look for wreckage from the Boeing 777-200 flying as Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, said the debris was not from the jet. But it's given us a great deal of confidence, Mr. Kennedy said in a telephone interview from the search vessel, the Fugro Discovery. It shows we're able to find small pins and small pieces of metal on the seafloor a long way down. Pieces from MH370 would be roughly 10 times as big as that. Thanks for joining us, folks. LCM TV News can be seen Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon live here at lcm-tv.com and anytime on our 2015 archive page at lakecomagazine.com. Join us again on Friday at noon, and don't forget to check Lake County Magazine for all your local news and information daily at lakecomagazine.com. I'm Pete Schiffman, and have a great day.